Now, earlier when we were talking about the like operator, we talked about the idea of a collation. We talked about case sensitivity and accent sensitivity. And I want to show you how you can control that information inside your SQL statements. So to do that, we have to learn a new piece of the puzzle here. There is a term, the collate statement. The collate allows you to override at both the where clause and order by what the case sensitivity or accent sensitivity is for that predicate or that sort. Okay, so collate allows you to override column level collations for where and order by clauses. So if you'll remember, we were doing find all, I think product names that have a, I think that was our example we did with our frequently asked question about case sensitivity and like. So the question, was, is it a capital A or a lowercase a? Is it an A with an accent? Which A is it? And what we said, I'll just write the query. We'll just get name, where name like. We remember this, right? And what we said is it's not that the like operator is case and accent agnostic. It's really the column or the expression that you were comparing it against that defines what the collation is. And so we went to the actual column and we scripted it out. If you remember doing this, we scripted this out and we saw that the name column was collated with this particular collation. So when we said that the CI meant case insensitive and the AS stood for accent sensitive. So an A with an accent would be read differently from an A without an accent. For example, those would not match if we just said the letter A. Right? An A with an accent is not a letter A, it's an A with an accent. Accent insensitive, they would match. If it had a base of a letter A, any variation of the letter A would have been returned. Okay? And I told you that I was going to show you how you can change the default, and that's what we're talking about now. When we do this, let's just order it by name. Since A will sort first, we're going to get the two A's here. Notice that we get the bike wash, the cable lock. These are not capital A's. Okay, that's because it was CI. The collation of the name column was, was CI, case insensitive. Therefore, we only return, we get both the capitals and the lower cases. So let's talk about how to use the collate clause. Okay. So list all collations on server is the first place you want to start. Okay, so there is a function, a built-in function, fn help collations. You can see it pop up right here. It's what we call a table-valued function. It does require the parentheses like all functions do. Chapter 3, the next chapter, is all about using functions. And so go ahead and execute this. Be aware on SQL 2005, this probably will not be instant. But this will list you every collation that you have on the server. And so you have two parts, the name and the description. When I went over here, when I went to the table and I asked it to script the table, so I created, it lists the name column here. Okay, so it says that the name, just coincidence, the name column here uses this collation. So what I could do, I can copy that, come over here and say where name equal that. So if I want to get a description of what that collation is, I can see that it uses the Latin 1 general character set. It's case insensitive and accent sensitive. Okay, there's more to it, but that's the base of what we want. Okay, so how about this? Let's now list all Latin 1 general case sensitive collations. Right? How would we do that? Same kind of thing, right? I'm going to copy that as my base, where description like Latin 1 general, and I'm just copying the format here. And notice what I'm doing. I'm not making another like case sensitive. See, case sensitive follows Latin 1 general in the description, so that's what I'm returning. I could have made 2, but this is easiest, right? I could have done it like this. And description like case sensitive. Whichever is clearer to you, you do that one. Okay? This is a static set of data that I know matches this particular pattern here, so I'm comfortable actually hard coding that in. But so there's our statement. This is all of the Latin 1 general case sensitive collations. So you can see the CS instead of the CI. So now let's go pick one of these. Let's just choose this basic one here. I will copy the name, and here's how we change this. So I'm going to copy down here that have a capital A. I'm going to change my product or my request. Come back over here, copy the name, and here's how you do your collate sequence. You just simply say collate, and you put that particular collation you want. So now you are telling this predicate that when it evaluates a row for true or false, evaluate it using this collation. Override whatever the collation is of the name column and make this evaluation using this case insensitive, accent insensitive. And so when we run this now, we only return those rows that have a capital A. That's the idea of using collations. Now you can also do this in the order by. Okay, so I could come down here and say I want it collated this way here. And so now it's going to override whatever the name column's collation is, and that sorting is going to be done using this particular collation, which won't affect this for this particular example. But like if I wanted to find some binary collations, maybe that will do it. I don't know. Well, let's try Albanian BIN. What I'm trying to do is, you notice that all in AWC sort appropriately. I'm trying to flip them. I'll sort it by the binary is what the bin stands for. And sure enough, the capital W in binary comes before the lowercase l. So that two A's are equal, but then it goes to there's a tie at the first position, goes to the second position, and in binary code, capital letters come before lowercase, so therefore it sorts like this. So pretty cool that you can do that kind of stuff. It's not so often that you need to know, but this is one of those areas where, if you need to know it, now you do.